A few years ago, I caught myself staring at my closet and saying something that sounds ridiculous out loud. I have nothing to wear. This phrase is so familiar that we don't even question it anymore. We say it before a party, before a wedding, and even just before coffee with friends. That moment, it didn't feel so casual. I began pulling things out of my closet, a skirt, a dress, some socks, and piled them all up on my bed until my room looked a little like a mini pop-up store. And yet, I still couldn't find a single thing that I actually wanted to wear. That's when I asked myself, how is it that I have so much and still feel like I have nothing? Hi, I'm Ishanvi, and I'm here to tell you how that quiet emptiness in the middle of too much shaped my story. So let me introduce you to the scene of the crime, my closet. And just for reference, this is my grandmother's closet. Clearly, we're a family that loves clothes. But here's the twist. Among all these heaps of fabrics, these are the clothes that we actually wore more than once. Surprising, isn't it? When I first saw it like this, I realized that the problem wasn't that we didn't have enough. It was that we'd lost touch with what actually mattered. Looking at my grandmother's closet, I realized that she had dozens of saris she hadn't worn in years. Beautiful hand-woven pieces just lying there, forgotten. I saw my own closet and saw the same thing in a different form. Mine was filled with fast fashion. Clothes I'd bought on impulse, worn once or twice, and then completely forgot about. 2 generations and 2 completely different styles. But the pattern, that was the same. We were both surrounded by clothes that we could not appreciate. That's when I wondered, what if we could bridge the gap between these 2 worlds? What if the history and craftsmanship of my grandmother's saris could meet the cuts and silhouettes of modern fashion that I love? This is what sowed seeds for sari stories. I began sourcing pre-loved saris and upcycling them into something new and purposeful, a dress, a jacket, a lehenga. Sari carried the history of the fabric and the personality of the person wearing it now. There was another layer to this story. All funds raised from the sale of these garments went towards organizing skill development workshops for girls in the Hyderabad juvenile home. Because it's not just about fabric. It's the happiness of a wedding, the celebration of a graduation, the comfort of home, and the chance to change someone else's life. Here's where the paradox of the plenty comes in. Fast fashion has given us more clothes than ever before, with racks overflowing and trends changing by the week. But the more we have, the less any of it seems to matter. The abundance that was supposed to give us endless choice has instead left us with closets full of nothing to wear. But this isn't just about overstuffed closets. There's a cost to all this plenty. Every second, an equivalent of a garbage truck full of textiles is burned or sent to a landfill somewhere in the world. To produce a single cotton t-shirt, it takes over 2,500 liters of water, enough for one person to drink for 2.5 years. And behind every bargain bin price tag is someone, often a woman, working long hours for less than minimum wage. But there's another cost to all this, the one we don't talk about, the emotional cost. When we can replace things instantly, we stop forming attachments to them. We stop caring for them, and we stop noticing them altogether. The clothes in our closet become background noise. We no longer see the value in them. We just start chasing the next purchase in hopes of finding that spark, only for it to disappear just quickly. But fashion something that was once deeply personal has now become something that's disposable. In doing that, we've also made it invisible. But honestly, this is a vicious cycle that all of us can get out of. Personally, I was part of it too. But that sari reminded me that the most important clothes are the ones we can't put a price on. So, what if we flip the paradox of plenty on its head? What if, instead of drowning in the abundance, we filled our closets and lives with fewer things but richer stories? For me, sari stories was my way of doing that. Every piece carried history in its threads. Every piece bridged the gap between the past and the present. Taking something that once lived in a wedding, graduation, or family milestone and converting it into something that someone could wear today. Every sale pushed this initiative forward, while funding skill development workshops for girls in the Hyderabad juvenile home. But you don't have to start a social enterprise to start. You can begin today with what you already have. Rewear what you love without apology and without shame. Upcycle the clothes you've outgrown. Turn that kurta into a cushion. Turn that shirt into a tote bag. And finally, repair, don't replace. Sew on that button and fix that tear. These steps won't fix the fast fashion industry overnight, but they will change the way we see what's hanging in our closets. And if enough of us change the way we see, we'll change the way we choose. Because every piece we save is one less that ends in a landfill. Every piece we reuse is one less draining our planet's resources. And every piece we love is proof that meaning is worth more than more. We don't need more clothes. We need more stories. Thank you.